In 2026, the Pokemon card market is absolutely insane. Vintage is up, modern is up, sealed product is up. It's almost impossible to find new products at retail for retail prices. The hobby is the busiest it's ever been. And because it's the busiest it's ever been, it's the most expensive it's ever been. And if you're a lapsed collector, maybe you were born in the 90s or you grew up in the early 2000s and you're just getting back into Pokemon cards, or maybe you've been back into the hobby, you know, for a couple of months now or a year or something like that, you might find that Pokemon cards and collecting Pokemon at the moment is just becoming too expensive. And a lot of us jump back in, there's a lot of us adults jumping into Pokemon. It is for nostalgic reasons. I've been collecting since I was a kid. I got into Pokemon just when it came out over in the UK in 98, 99. I had the games, I had the cards, I had the figures. I've got the figures still from when I was a kid. These figures are from my childhood. I had these. These are the ones I owned actually as a kid and played with. These figures here, all items literally from my childhood, okay, from like being 8, 9, 10 years old. So if you are collecting Pokemon cards, it's very expensive to do at the minute, and to have fun, that fun comes with, you know, a big price tag. But because the market is in the state it's in, it's maybe a good time to think about, what are you collecting for? What is your reason for collecting? Are you having fun with the hobby? Is the current market kind of ruining your enjoyment of Pokemon and collecting Pokemon? And if it is, now is a good time to think about, like, what do you collect and why do you collect it? People around my age and maybe a little bit older than me, maybe he's a couple of years younger than me, could probably relate to this. Getting back into Pokemon for me happened for the first time when I was a university student, 2008. I got back into collecting when I was a university student. I found my old cards when I was a kid, and I started flipping Pokemon cards to make a little bit of money, putting that money back into my collection. I'd buy bulk cards, I'd buy collections, take out the items to build my own collection, sell the remainder, then with the profit of the money I had left, I would do it again, rinse and repeat. And I had goals to collect. I wanted to have basically all the sets completed that I wasn't able to do when I was a kid. The only set I had when I got back into collecting as a teenager, when I was, 18, I had a complete base set, and I remember the Poliwrath was battered, like it was terrible. That was the first card I wanted to replace because it was in terrible condition. So I had a complete base set, and then I just had scattered from Jungle, Fossil, Team Rocket. I had some gym cards, I had some Neo cards, I had some Japanese cards, I had some promo cards. So for me, the first goals were to just master sets. Grading wasn't a thing back then. Collecting master sets or individual cards, everyone had their own preferences, but for me it was trying to complete the master sets, and then it was trying to complete all of the Black Star promos. And then the more I got into the hobby, the more I was then learning about Japanese cards, and I became a big Japanese collector. So I was collecting the sets in like the same sets, but the Japanese variants of them. Then I was collecting Japanese promos. Then I would find out the vending machine cards or CD promos, and you just go down that rabbit hole. And I was finding cards that I liked, or Pokemon that I liked, and I was wanting to get them for my own collection. And there was a sense of like fulfillment or achievement because you had goals, you were trying to chase like specific things. So that was kind of between 2008 2014 when I was getting back into collecting, and I completed genuinely most of my goals. Now my goals, and maybe it's not the same as yours, or maybe it's not the same as some of the bigger influencers out there who are collecting everything in a first edition PSA 10. I wasn't that bothered with getting first edition cards. Back when I was collecting 2008 to 2014, I had a base set first edition complete, and that was enough for me. I remember clearing all of the unlimited sets up until Neo Genesis. Then I wanted to get the Japanese variants. That was kind of the next goal. Then I was toying with the idea of, well, maybe I could do first edition. Maybe I'll just continue with the Neo sets. And there was a few things that I had goals for that just passed me by. Then years and years later, here we are, 2026, I still don't have a complete Neo Discovery, Destiny or Revelation set. I wish I had built them then because it was a lot cheaper to do than it is now. But those are still goals that I would like to do. Just master sets in a binder, just for my own personal collection, my own personal enjoyment. If you're recently getting back into the hobby, what are your reasons for collecting? What do you want to collect? Are you collecting for nostalgia? Are you collecting the cards that you never had as a kid that now you've got disposable income? you want to complete those cards, you want to complete those master sets? Are you collecting particular Pokemon that you like, whether it's vintage or whether it's modern? Did you get back into collecting because maybe you just saw some artwork on social, you saw some of the newer cards and you thought they look cool, and you're not actually collecting for nostalgic reasons, you're just collecting because the modern cards look cool? Or are you collecting because you're seeing how much money people are making and you want a slice of that, and then you're buying the popular cards, the chase cards, you're only wanting the latest Charizard from the set, or you're only wanting the latest Mewtwo or the latest Pikachu from the latest set, whatever it might be? Because if that's your reason for collecting, you'll never really be happy with what you're collecting, because it's just going to be a business to you. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that isn't really collecting, that's flipping, or it's investing, or whatever terminology you want to use. It's not just collecting to have enjoyment from the cards that you've got. Think about when we were kids and we would open up a pack of Pokemon cards. It was probably as unlikely that you knew what the entire set would be. I remember in the theme decks you'd get a checklist of base sets, you'd have like a checklist of all of the cards, but there's no picture of it. You just knew what Pokemon was going to be in there, what trainer card would be in there. Jungle, Fossil, Neo, the gym set, they'd all come with like a theme deck would come with like a little leaf, like a pamphlet that you'd fold out with the checklist on there. Now we're seeing, months before we get the cards, we're seeing full set released online, so we're seeing exactly what cards are going to be in there, we're seeing the art, we're then seeing the Japanese prices, we're then speculating on prices before the cards even come out in English. And now when people are opening packs, they're not opening the pack for the experience of opening or for the fun of opening. They're opening a pack purely because they want this particular card because it's worth X amount of money. It's just gambling. It's just, you know, absolutely just gambling. You're buying a pack for £4, £4.50, and the only reason you're opening that pack is because you want to pull whatever card it is to either instantly sell it raw for whatever the current market price is and make money, or you want to go and grade it to then sell the card on. You're not opening the packs because there's actually like any fun or any enjoyment from just looking through the cards, putting them in your binder, trying to complete your masters, or trying to get the cards that you actually like. It's, if you don't pull the valuable card, that was a waste of money, that wasn't enjoyable. You're not enjoying the process of pulling the cards, looking at the cards. It's either you get the most expensive card in the set in the pack, or you just wasted your money. And that's one of the reasons why it's probably not so fun for you. Another reason is if you are just a genuine collector and the financial aspect of it doesn't interest you at all, it's obviously very annoying to then not be able to buy modern products at retail for RRP prices and seeing the price of individual cards go up because the demand is so high at the minute. It's good if you've already got a big collection and you can maybe offload and make a bit of money. But if you're not looking to offload your collection, or you're looking, like for me for example, looking to complete the old Neo sets, still the price of the card is sometimes hard to justify, like spending so much on a single piece of cardboard and on a single card. So think to yourself, like, what is the reason you're collecting for? If it's for nostalgia, what are the parts of the hobby can you maybe get involved in? That's, if you're not interested in the financial side of it, is there another area of Pokemon that you could collect? Is it the manga? Is it plushies? Is it figurines? Is it just art? There's loads of things out there. It's the biggest, entertainment franchise in the world. So there's loads of merchandise out there that can probably scratch that itch. If you're looking for nostalgia and Pokemon cards just a little bit, out of your price range, look at some other things you can get that maybe is not even Pokemon. If you are just looking for nostalgia, I grew up in the 90s. I was born in the 90s, grew up in the 90s and early 2000s. So for me, I'm looking just around my room here and the things that I enjoyed as a kid. So I was in Japan earlier this year. Dragon Ball figures, liquid. Like, I can get fulfillment from buying something like that and just putting it on my shelf to display. Yu-Gi-Oh! I've got Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I've got retro Dragon Ball Z figures. I've got Power Rangers stuff. I've got Star Wars stuff. I've got various collector's editions of games and things like that. Things that, there's no like investment to that. I'm not buying that for it to go up in money. I'm buying it because it's a character I like and it's cool and it looks good on my shelf. Boom, there's the shelf, like that. So there's loads of things that if you were just looking to scratch that nostalgic itch, maybe look outside of just Pokemon cards, maybe look outside of just Pokemon. What other franchises can you get involved with? What other hobbies have you got to scratch that itch? And I'm not saying this to scare you off from Pokemon. I'm just saying this to you know, if you're in a position like I am, you're an adult, and you are looking to, you know, scratch that nostalgic itch, but maybe his Pokemon is just becoming a bit too much of a chore, a bit too much of a grind and a slog because of the pricing of the market at the minute. It's not becoming fun. Like, we should only be doing this because we enjoy it. If it feels like work, we should not be doing it, because this is a hobby. It should be fun, so we should be something that we enjoy. So if the pricing and the state of the current modern product with scalping is annoying you, if vintage is kind of, you know, in the current market we're in, if it's just too expensive, if just the general culture of money in Pokemon is starting to grind you down and wear you down, I can guarantee you there's other hobbies out there. I'll use this as the example. Like, people aren't buying these for investments. You can just buy them as a display piece. Whether it's pop Funkos of Pokemon, whether it's Pokemon figures, whether it's another franchise completely, just have a look at some of the other things in your childhood or some of the other franchises that you enjoy. What can you maybe get into that isn't going to be so money focused or so financially focused? And you might have a bit more fun with the hobbies that you're in. And then when Pokemon eventually cools off, the market drops a little bit, whether it crashes, whether it declines, whatever terminology you want to use. When Pokemon cools off and it's a bit more accessible, maybe you can come back to it then. Just something to think about. Other than Pokemon, what are some of the franchises that you are collecting? What's some of the things that you grew up with that you've gotten back into as well as Pokemon? Let me know down in the comments below. I've been Shreddy, thank you for watching, and until next time, keep clanging and banging.